The facts of life. My younger brother does not talk to me. I could easily write that, but I won't. He is turning 70 this month. I will not attend the festivities. The most vivid recollection of my childhood was late August 1948. I was 4 and waiting on the stoop at 2841 West 5th Street in Coney Island because my baby brother was coming. My father was bringing him and my mother home in his brand new car, our very first. We had no phone, there was no television, barely any furniture, but now we were getting a car and a new baby all swaddled into one. My big sister Rebecca, my brother Joel, and I stood on the steps with Grandma. Rebecca was angry. She didn't want another brother. Joel was jumping up and down because he did, and now they were fighting. Grandma was annoyed. My mother was not supposed to have babies at all. She was too fragile, and I was just 1 year younger than Joel. Enough to kill anyone, Grandma said. She fell apart when you were born and your daddy left for Korea. It was just too much. And now this? Grandma called my father a Vildachaya, a wild beast. The neighbors were all talking about how big the new baby was. 12 pounds. Yeah. Can you imagine? And how it was a miracle my poor mother survived such a birth. A wunderkind, never a newborn so humongous. And then he arrived, and everyone said he was the most beautiful child they had ever seen. The car glowed like a hot coal in the sun, with smoldering red leather seats. It smelled like new shoes, and then my memory goes blank. Nothing, as if I disappeared. My father yelled, and my cat Fluffy left the house when he came home. Pure white, she had one green and one brown eye, and was soft like a cloud resting in my arms. I roamed the streets searching the lot next door for bottle caps and broken colored glass for my treasure box. My friend Rocky at the bus barn across the street gave me that tin box. I snuck over there every single day to sit on his lap. I asked him if I was fat. He said I was the most beautiful girl he had ever held and that I smelled like raspberry jam. He smelled like vanilla. I named my son after him. He asked me questions. He laughed at every answer. He let me bring over bits of food for his cat, for his tomcat Mikey. The rest is a blank, except for the stories. My mother left me outside in my carriage, and I was kidnapped as a 2-year-old. They found me in the saloon down the street. A drunk prostitute took me home. She said I was crying and she didn't see any mother. She kept me on the bar. I fell off a ladder when I was 2.5. My mom put me there to wash the dishes. I was unconscious for a full day. My mother splashed paint in my eye when she was painting the ceiling with me on the floor. She thought I'd be blind. She said she didn't remember I was there. I was that quiet. A tree falls and no one notices, and a child grows up in its shadow. The big event was getting a new brother. Then the theater goes dark. He stuttered, and they took him to a doctor who told my father not to yell, not at him. He was a fragile genius. His thoughts came faster than he could speak them. My father tried. He had soldier's heart from the war. He left when I was born and came home to impregnate my mother again. My mother said the war changed him. He would erupt like a volcano when you least expected. My older sister was shy and would not speak. My older brother was skinny, so skinny that my grandmother skimmed cream from the milk to put on the cereal that he would not eat. I ate, I talked a lot, and I played hit the penny like there was no tomorrow. But I had migraines. They left me in a dark room with a wet rag on my head. My father called me Sarah Bernhardt. My father called me Fatso. He did not like that I stayed with Grandma so much. Fluffy and I kept to ourselves somewhere outside, and then we had supper with Grandma. 4 siblings, 3 psychoanalysts, and 1 psychiatric nurse. My brother wrote books. Joel wrote about emotional child abuse. The younger one wrote articles about the coat of many colors in Joseph. Then he wrote a book about edible paradigms, whatever that means. I said it was unreadable. I could reverse that, but I won't. I wrote a book I did not publish about a ghost. I opened a restaurant. I called it The Fat Lady. It was a love letter to my father to say, "Dad, it's okay." But I won't write a letter to my brother, not even a card.